Hello, welcome to the table. I'm DJ King D. You can find me on Facebook, also on YouTube, and my co-host.
Yeah, I'm T Brown, also known as Dirty Brown. You can also find me at Trevor Brown on YouTube, Trevor Brown on Facebook, SoundCloud, Dirty Brown, Instagram, Dirty Brown 740. Look us up, and welcome to the table. We got a special episode here. So first, I figured we'd watch a video. If you haven't seen it, it's a Joyner video. And it's called I'm Not a Racist. And if you haven't seen it, you're probably going to be shocked, but let's check it out.
With all due respect, I don't have pity for you black niggas. That's the way I feel. Screaming Black Lives Matter, all the black guys rather be deadbeats than pay your bills. Yelling nigga this and nigga that. Call everybody nigga and get a nigga mad. As soon as I say nigga, then everyone react. Wanna swing at me and call me racist cause I ain't black. Pound that then. Talking about slavery like you was around back then. Like you was picking cotton off the fucking ground back then. Like you was on the plantation getting down back then. I see a black man aiming his gun, but I'd rather see a black man claiming his son. And I don't mean just for one day and you done. I mean, you still trapped in a rut. I work my ass off and pay my taxes for what? So you can keep living on free government assistance, food stamps for your children, but you still trying to sell them for some weed and some liquor or a fucking babysitter while you party on the road cause you ain't got no fucking goals? You already late. You motherfuckers need to get your damn priorities straight. Wait. It's like you're proud to be fake, but you lazy as fuck. And you rather sell drugs and get a job and be straight. And then you turn around and complain about the poverty rate. Fuck out of my face.
That's crazy.
Can't escape problems. You can pray for some change, but can't break a dollar. Got nobody else to blame, so you blame Donald. They fucked the world with a Make America Great condom. My boy's been back. I'm not racist. My sister's boyfriend's black. I'm not racist. My sister-in-law's baby cousin Tracy got a brother and his girlfriend's black. My head's in the cloud. Heard there's not enough jobs for all the men in your house. Maybe we should build a wall to keep the Mexicans out. Or maybe we should send them all to the ghetto for now. I'm not racist. And I never lied, but I think there's a disconnect between your culture and mine. I worship the Einsteins, study the Steve Jobs, but you ride Tupac's dick like he was a fucking god. Oh my god. And all you care about is rapping and stunting and being ratchet, and that's the nigga within you. Music right in your brain and slowly start to convince you. Then you let your kids listen and then the cycle continues. Blame it all on the menu, blame it on those drinks, blame it on everybody except for your own race. Blame it on white privileges, blame it on white kids, and just blame it on white citizens. Aim at the vice president. Bunch of class clowns. Niggas kneeling on the field, that's a flag down. How dare you try to make demands for this money? You gon' show us some respect, you gon' stand for this country, nigga. I'm not racist. I'm just prepared for this type of war. I heard Eminem's rap at the awards. Who's he fighting for? Y'all can take that motherfucker too. He ain't white no more. It's like you wanna be so famous. You'll do anything for attention and a little payment. I can't take you nowhere without people pointing fingers. Pants hanging off your ass. You ain't got no home training. Put your fucking pants up, nigga. Put that suit back on. Take that do-rag off. Take that goat out your mouth. Quit the pitiful stuff. And then maybe police and stop killing you fucks. So what the fuck? I'm not racist. It's like we're living in the same building but split into two floors. I'm not racist. But there's two sides to every story. I wish that I knew yours. I wish that I knew yours. I'm not racist. I swear. With all disrespect, I don't really like you white motherfuckers. That's just where I'm at. Screaming all lives matter is a protest to my protest. What kind of shit is that? And that's one war you'll never win. The power in the word nigga is a different sin. We shouldn't say it, but we do, and that's just what it is. But that don't mean that you can say it just cause you got nigga friends. Nigga. That word was originated for you to keep us under. And when we use it, we know that's just how we greet each other. And when you use it, we know there's a double meaning under. And even if I wasn't picking cotton physically, that don't mean I'm not infected by the history. My grandmama was a slave, that shit gets to me, and you ain't got no motherfucking sympathy, you pussy nigga. I'm sorry, you can never feel my life. Trying to have faith, but I never feel alright. It's hard to elevate when this country's ran by whites, judging me by my skin color and my blackness. Trying to find a job and ain't nobody call me back yet. Now I gotta sell drugs and put food in my cabinet. You crackers ain't slick, this is all a part of your tactics. Don't talk about no motherfucking taxes when I ain't making no dough. You think you know everything, but you don't. You wanna copy our slang and everything that we know. Try to steal black culture and make it your own. Whoa. Fuck, I'm exhausted. I can't even drive without the cops trying to start shit. I'm tired of this systematic racism bullshit. All you do is false shit. This the shit that I'm false with. And you don't know shit about my people. That's what bothers you. You don't know about no fried chicken or no barbecue. You don't know about the two-step or no loose change. You don't know about no 2 chains or no Kool-Aid. You don't know. And even though Barack was half as black, you hated President Obama. I know that's a fact. You couldn't wait to get him out and put a cracker back. And then you gave us Donald Trump, and that was payback for that. I'm not racist. I never lied, but I noticed a disconnect between your culture and mine. Yeah, I praised Tupac like he was a fucking god. He was fighting for his life way before he fucking died, nigga. Die, nigga. And all you care about is money and power and being ugly. And that's the cracker within you. Hatred all in your brain that slowly starts to convince you. Then you teach it to your children until the cycle continue. Blame it on Puerto Rico. Blame it on OJ. Blame it on everybody except for your own race. Blame it on black niggas and blame it on black citizens. Aim at the black businesses. I ain't saying I'm innocent, but I might be any day now. Treating everybody how you want in any way how. I swear North Korea about to bomb us any day now. And now I'm ducking every time I hear a fucking plane now. Shit. You know I make a lot of sense, but you just can't admit it. When Eminem went against Trump, that was the illest. Cause even though he's white, he let us know he's standing with us. I'm not racist, but I cry a lot. You don't know what it's like to be in a frying pot. You don't know what it's like to mind your business and get stopped by the cops. And I know if you about to die or not. You worry about your life, so you take mine. I love you, but I fucking hate you at the same time. I wish we could trade shoes so we could change lives, so we can understand each other more, but that'll take time. I'm not racist. It's like we living in the same building but split into both sides. I'm not racist. But there's 2 sides to every story, and now you know mine.
Wow, alright, D. You ain't never seen this before.
Can't erase the scars with a bandage. I'm hoping maybe we can come to an understanding. Agree to disagree, we can have an understanding. I'm not racist.
And hug at the end. This video caused a lot of controversy. It's pretty deep though. It's real though. It shows you 2 different perspectives of a whole country, you know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly where I see you. I mean, we as human beings, we come from different sides of the fence or whatnot. You know, one person may see things one way and another sees a different aspect. But that's good how they can come together and really understand from both point of views how people are coming.
Yeah, I want you to get more into detail because I'm gonna get into it a little bit. But at the end of the video it says, we are all humans until race disconnects us, religion separates us, politics divide us, and wealth classifies us. That's what the quote at the end of the video says. Now, being it was your first time saying it, you kept asking me, is the white dude saying that? Is Joyner Lucas, is this a white guy rapping this? Or so now if it was a white guy rapping it, how would you feel about that?
I mean, he was rapping it. I mean, he was just reading. He was actually rapping it. But coming from I see it from where, on the standpoint of where he sees us and why he sees it within that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us need to pay more attention instead of just talking and and also do our research.
Caucasian, that is my heritage.
As far as how is the other person affected?
That is true. That is true.
We all are affected by in different ways.
Yeah. It was pretty deep. The first time I saw the video, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, man, I said, is it a white dude saying it, or I was thinking the same thing. Because it was like, it was shocked the way I first seen the video. And Joyner Lucas, he's an artist. He's actually signed with Eminem and Shady and them over there. He's incredibly talented, you know what I'm saying? Even the concept of the song that he just created. And being that I think the video was so in-depth and it was so informative as far as, I mean, he did a good job of actually explaining different sides. I was like, a lot of Trump supporters, I feel, probably think the same way the guy in the first part of the video thought. And a lot of us probably think the same way, especially a lot of the young black man who really it was good that it was a younger black guy talking to kind of a white guy who's still young, but he's stuck in his ways because he come from a different part of America. But we all Americans, and we all need to understand each other.
And the point of view that I got out of it, it should open up more people's eyes.
Yeah.
Because so many people are just attending to listening to the beats and not really taking in the message within the songs. They listen to the cursing, then they edit it out, they scratch it, and don't listen to it, but it's the message behind it.
Right. True. So, and once again, the topic of the day, and this is a special, that's why we sat and watched the whole video. If you're interested in that, we don't own the rights. That was Joyner Lucas, and it was I Am Not a Racist. The video is very in-depth, it's very deep, and I would like for y'all to go watch it again so y'all can really soak it in. Today's episode is about white privilege, and not for me and me talking about white privilege. We was watching the MTV special, and you can look it up yourself. The MTV special is the sources that where it come from. We don't own the rights to that. We just watch TV and we talk about it pretty much, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to watch a little bit of that and watch parts of it and talk about that. And we'll wrap it up here, man. I'm glad y'all joining us or watching this, man.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Let's check out a little bit of it, though.
Trying to be careful here.
Don't be careful. You kind of get this feeling that things belong to you. To be white is the good thing.
We don't even necessarily know someone that's not white.
People here don't see anybody of another race. So there's this barrier community.
If I bring up any sort of race issue with my parents, they immediately assume that I'm demonizing them.
I didn't want to feel like I couldn't live in this house with my beliefs.
When you start seeing things that aren't your own, no English, you don't speak, it's gonna make you want to move away.
Any minority group, if they get a scholarship, straight white men feel like something is being taken away from them.
Kind of feels like I'm being discriminated against.
We've never had to internalize what white people have done in America, but here, you can't escape that.
I'm getting uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable.
Hey, this is great. Let's get all uncomfortable together. I'm Jose. Sam, nice to meet you.
I'm Ty.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So we're doing a film for MTV on what it means to be young and white.
Okay. I think we fit the role.
Yes, we're doing a show for MTV on what it means to be young and white.
Okay.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. We talk about race in this country a lot, but we don't include it in the conversation. It's only us. We talk, usually about you, about white people.
That is true.
I'm interested in how you feel.
That is true.
So some background. My name is Jose Antonio Vargas and I look like this, which you can get, as you can imagine, a little confusing. You know, I look a little more Asian, right? And why is your name Jose? So I was born in the Philippines. The Philippines was colonized by the Spanish, which is how I got my name. I moved here to America when I was 12. I'm an undocumented immigrant, so I'm not even supposed to be according to the government. So let me ask people this question. What are you and where are you from?
Yeah, I'm white. I'm Caucasian. That is my heritage.
Yeah, I find that really interesting because, you know, white is not a country.
I would just consider myself white American.
When you say white, like what does that mean to you?
White is the default. It's the default race.
It's just the norm. To be white is the good thing.
How would your life be different if you weren't white?
I believe it could be different because
Sorry.
I don't necessarily go outside of my group, so I don't know.
Most white Americans do live in kind of a white bubble. The typical white American lives in a town that's more than 3/4 white, and the average white person's group of friends is more than 90% white.
White people usually are raised by white people, they hang out with white people, and so they're completely oblivious to issues of racism that impact non-white people.
Alright, they speak on it, man. Tell me what you think about that. I mean, they pretty much saying that most white people live in white communities and they don't really have to interact with most other races. He said it's almost like they live in a bubble. They stay to themselves, they friends of the same race, and you know, when they go to college and they interact usually, or when they have to go into a bigger city is when they usually do interact with other people, races.
I see where a lot of them are afraid of us because of the history that we have, you know, or because of the same mindset that their ancestors put our ancestors through. And so therefore they're fearful of us for that. But I don't think that is also a good explanation of why they don't interact with us to try to get to know us a lot better.
Yeah. I think, you know, if you grow, I guess if your parents put you in that bubble, that's why you know when you was raised, you know what I'm saying? I've interacted with people, you know, that, you know, had called me colored, and I haven't heard people say colored since way back in the day.
Like
but they was in a
crayons.
small town in Kansas. You know, I grew up in Kansas and they lived in a real small town. I'm from Kansas City though, so I'm used to being around all races of people. But if you're really not, then you don't really know how to interact with other people from other races, or you feel like, and all you know is the jokes and what you see on TV. Television is a lot of influence on people, you know. Let's watch a little bit more of it and talk a little bit.
There you go.
Why do you think it took this long for y'all to meet each other?
That's Dakota's problem, not mine.
Growing up in this area, how often do you think you guys talk about race?
Oh, no. Hardly ever.
We were talking about some friends that you had that's like, hey, if there's a black person walking down the street, you cross
go the other
street.
way.
You go the other way.
I would honestly say I've done that before.
You've done that before.
It
like her.
was
She
that
got it.
bad part of you that thinks something bad. Would I do that now?
I took it.
Never.
She went on ahead and
How about you? Like stereotypes that you have about white people?
Lay 'em out there, girl.
They're stuck up. They're all racist. I mean, they might be nice in your face, but behind your back, they're gonna say something.
What were you gonna say, Dakota?
Well, I think people like say, oh, black people can get ghetto real fast. Well, I can get ghetto real fast. Okay.
This is something that I've always asked other people. What is ghetto? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is ghetto? I know, but that's not.
I mean, it's on TV. Somebody says get every 5 seconds on if you turn on Housewives.
I know, I understand.
Me too. That's how I use it.
I hate that word.
Why do you hate that word?
Because it's not. Please don't, because I'm gonna start crying.
So what do you? I mean, she said if she sees a black man, she said I have walked away, but I thought the girl was brave to admit it. Those are the conversations we had. She said I won't do it now, but back then that's just what she thought.
Because she wasn't aware of what she's aware of now, or how it affects the other person, and also on the part that they were speaking on as far as they don't know, which they don't know us as far as how we are.
And all you get is an idea from like songs and TV. You really would think that black people are a threat to you and they're trying to snatch your purse, or they do most of the crime, and criminals come in all races.
Which is not true.
Right. Criminals come in all races. But also, what do you think about the word ghetto? The way we use ghetto and
on that.
Actually, I think it has like a French background to it. So it's not, the ghetto just means really a low poverty area where poor people.
What they was emphasizing as far as ghetto is where anybody can get angry and is ready to fight. I mean, that happens through all ethnics. You get your foot stepped on, you ready to fight, no matter if you're Filipino, Japanese.
So anybody can get ghetto. She
Yeah.
said housewives. She
That's
said
anybody.
anytime on the housewives, you see ghettery all the time. She said ghettery.
That's anybody who's ready to fight. You know what I'm saying?
True. Let's watch a little bit more, man. I find this so interesting.
I'm curious. What does white privilege mean to you?
You kind of get this feeling as you grow up that things belong to you.
You don't have to show people that, like, you're one of the good ones.
I can walk to a convenience store and back without getting hassled by the police.
I won't have to deal with prejudice that someone who's Asian, someone who's black, someone who's Spanish has to deal with. That's my privilege as a white person. It's but it's true.
If I was white, I don't think I would have to wake up knowing that there's a certain stereotype put on me. Being Asian, I'm smart, I'm good at math, I eat a dog.
Do you actually wake up and that's in the front of your mind?
Well, it's not in the front of mine, but there are times when I know they already put me in a box.
I've never experienced systematic oppression against me.
I'll never know what that's like. I'm not saying I want to know what it's like to be discriminated against. But I would like to know what I've constantly been told my whole life that I cannot possibly ever relate to or understand.
Man, these people are so cool, man, for even having this conversation with him, man. First of all, I commend everybody in this documentary, man. And it's cool to know this, you know what I'm saying?
And it's also given me an understanding that they're trying to broaden their horizon and really trying to see what the other side is like. Right. Everybody has. It seems like everybody on here is inquisitive or in question of, okay, why is it?
Right.
I'm hoping they doing this to really inspire and inspect themselves to change.
Right. I feel like we try to tell them a lot of stuff they seem like they already know. Like we said, the girl said, I feel a sense of entitlement, like things just belong to me. And the one girl said, I don't feel like I'm not a victim of systematic oppression. And then I don't know what it's like to walk down the street and get harassed by the police. I mean, they pretty much said a lot of stuff to, you know. So, man, what do you think now knowing that?
I mean, as far as them saying it and not, far as them saying it and witnessing, that's two different things. Because they're not dealing with this themselves, or they're not seeing it happening in front of them. Because it was matter of fact, it reminded me of
But they're aware of it.
They're aware of it. Okay, they're aware of it. What I'm speaking on is this: if they go to the store, and it's a black person in there at the store, and that black person might have been standing in front of them in line, paid for whatever he got from the store, and she paid for it. As soon as they both walk out the store at the same time, if he gets harassed by the police or what have you, will she speak up on his behalf because she sees this injustice happening right in front of her?
Yeah, you have a point. Let's watch some more. You have a point. Talk.
What do you think are the disadvantages of being white? Now, this is a really interesting question. I know there are some people of color saying, what is he asking? I mean, again, this is the conversation.
It's a good question, though.
She's in the back.
I would like to know.
I would say there's no disadvantage to be white.
I don't know. I mean, it's like asking a rich person, like, tell me how hard your life is being rich.
This is a question many young white Americans are too embarrassed to discuss in public. But privately, it's a different story. In one study, nearly 50% of young white Americans say that today, discrimination against whites is as big a problem as discrimination against minorities.
Scholarships, definitely.
Yeah,
there's a lot of scholarships. I mean, there's a lot of scholarships out there for people of different race.
It would ask you, like, literally on the scholarship search page, it's like, what's your race? And when I filled in that I was a white male, it said there are no scholarships available.
Yes. I want y'all to hear this girl.
Hi, Jose. Katie, right?
Yes.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having us.
This
is where you grew up?
Yeah, this is Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, wait. What's that?
She's doing good in school.
That is my...
You're in the honor roll.
Well, I graduated as a high school scholar.
So where are you going to school right now?
I am going to Paradise Valley Community College.
How was the high school experience like for you?
I graduated top of my class in the top 10%. I graduated with 3.8 GPA.
It's a lot higher than mine. Okay, great.
Even with all that being done, I'm not able to have that education that I had hoped for.
So what was the plan?
The plan was Grand Canyon University. That's what my dream was.
So what happened when you applied?
I did get accepted.
Hey,
yeah, yeah, that was
awesome.
really cool.
Okay.
However, my biggest worry was the finances.
Yeah.
I just started noticing that there were all these scholarships for race.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, well, I don't qualify for any of those just because of the color of my skin.
How does that feel?
It kind of feels like I'm being discriminated against a little bit.
We told Katie when she was growing up, just work hard, get your grades, it'll get you far. But I think that now white folks aren't getting the same opportunities. It's kind of almost reverse discrimination in that way.
Say reverse discrimination.
We have heard.
Alright, so we already know there's a lot through affirmative action. Let's just talk about that first. They said a lot of people think that we getting jobs just because we black and we gotta hire a black and we're not qualified for the jobs that we're getting, And on scholarships, they think that not just us, anybody a minority of color is taking a scholarship away from a white person who was qualified for it. They should have had that scholarship more qualified than the person that actually gets scholarships. What you think?
Well, I think this is a different episode, but it still has to reflect on what's going on today in today's society.
No, that's part of it because we about to he's about to speak on if the scholarship thing is true or not. So.
The scholarship thing, as far as what just happened, was this on the news worldwide. As far as the payment,
Yeah, I'm talking about scholarships being given to minorities that should have been to white students.
Yeah, but
they feel like it's more qualified.
No, which is not true. I mean, there's not more of them have more scholarships than we of minority have. They get more of the scholarships.
Yeah, and let's check it out so y'all can see for yourself.
White students who say that white students are at a disadvantage when it comes to the college admission process, financial aid, scholarships, and this isn't fair. Talk to me about the facts. What are the actual statistics about scholarships that are available to white students in this country?
Available to white students, virtually all of them. I think it's something like 96% are actually available to white students. In terms of who gets the scholarships, white students are usually about 40% more likely than students of color to actually receive that type of aid.
40% more likely.
That's correct.
40% more likely.
This surprised me. It turns out that even though 62% of undergraduate college students are white, they get 69% of private scholarships. On the other hand, minority students make up 38% of the undergraduate population, but get only 31% of private scholarships. Wow. So despite all we've heard about white students being at a disadvantage, they're actually disproportionately getting more scholarships.
40% more.
So what do I tell to white students?
Yes.
Simply, I spoke to this young white student
Yes.
who feels that she is at a disadvantage.
You're not at a disadvantage. It's just you're simply not. Everybody in this situation, especially as it pertains to paying for college, everybody is struggling right now.
She's not gonna want to hear that.
You said everybody is struggling right now trying to get a scholarship. So what do you think, D?
I don't think everyone is.
Why do you think they believe that we're taking it from that we're getting scholarships like we haven't earned? We work hard to get, and they're 40% more likely.
We don't work hard. We have to work even much harder than they do to get these scholarships because we've been kicked down and denied of things to where how society looks upon us that we're not worthy, we're not not gonna do good by it, or we just not that wise or educated.
So you have to work like 3 times more harder to get it, since it's like they say it's like 40% more likely for them to get a scholarship than one of us.
I'm saying it because of the fact that I feel as though, this is my feeling, I feel as though we have to prove ourselves, where they may not have to prove themselves as though we have. See, prove ourselves as far as us being capable of you know, sticking it through or capable of keeping it out.
Yeah, I heard what you're saying. I mean, yeah. You know, the fact they said 36 out of 36%, 38%, so that's over more than what they're supposed to get. This, if it's 36%, their numbers have not even been touched. They still gonna get their scholarship, regardless if we get offered a scholarship or not. That's wild. That's pretty.
And it has been said once before that they will see me and then this a Caucasian person, but yet they'll give it to that no matter how my academics levels are or whatnot, they'll still give it to that person, a minority, before me.
And even if you don't see a person, if you see a name on paper, you could assume that it's an ethnicity, and you don't have to. Won't even have to see the person. You be like, nah, this name. If his name's Panji or Pedro or Tyrone or Jamal or something like that, you can see it on paper and just assume that he's not white and give that to somebody who you feel like has a nice, clean white name. Well, I'm not saying it's been done like that. I'm just saying discrimination can happen without a person even walking in the office at times.
I've heard of this case, so many times as far as a couple of friends of mine that are African American descent, and they get a phone call saying a job calls them, and because they talk proper or whatnot, so that interviewer, when they go and do going to the interview for that job, the employee was a lot of employees that tell that person that went in for that job, okay, he's like, okay, I'm here for this interview. I got an interview with such and such at a certain time. But that interviewer is looking for a Caucasian because he's talking proper or he sounds,
it could be your voice, so it could be your name on paper. It could be a multitude of things to make a person just assume that you're a minority or assume you're white. Like, my name's Trevor. Trevor, my name on paper got me to a lot of good jobs, and they didn't even know I was gonna look like this when I showed up. Let's watch some more though.
With a person of a different race. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I feel extremely comfortable.
Half my friends are black, and it's totally normal.
I don't give a sorry if I shouldn't be swearing, but about different colors, different races.
Yes.
I could care less what race someone is. I was never taught to really notice it.
Almost all young white Americans I spoke to consider themselves colorblind, that they do not see race. In fact, 3 out of 4 young white Americans say society would be better off if we never acknowledged race.
Most people making the comment about being blind to color, in my experience, have been primarily white. And it's a dismissive comment.
I just feel like you're trying to avoid what the real issue is.
Exactly.
That's a cop-out, man. It's for people that just scared to face it.
Thank you.
If being colorblind means running away from racial